India's second Prime Minister, Lal Bahadur Shastri, is remembered as a man of high values and principles. Whether it was his resignation as railway minister after a train accident, his leadership during the India-Pakistan War of 1965, or his famous slogan, Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan, Hail the soldier, hail the farmer, Shastri set exceptional standards in public life. Such examples of integrity are rare. Lal Bahadur Shastri was born on October 2, 1904, in Mughalsarai, but his birth anniversary is often overshadowed by that of Mahatma Gandhi, India's father of the nation, who shares the same date. During India's freedom struggle, prominent leader Lala Lajpat Rai established the Servants of India Society, which aimed to financially support freedom fighters from humble backgrounds. Lal Bahadur Shastri was one of the beneficiaries of this support. To help manage his household expenses, he received a monthly stipend of 50 rupees from the society. Once, while in prison, Shastri wrote a letter to his wife, Lalita, asking if the 50 rupees were reaching her on time and whether they were sufficient to run the household. Lalita Shastri promptly replied, stating that the amount was more than enough. She mentioned that she managed the household expenses with just 40 rupees and saved 10 rupees each month. Upon learning this, Lal Bahadur Shastri immediately wrote to the Servants of India Society, requesting that his stipend be reduced to 40 rupees as it was sufficient for his family. He suggested that the remaining 10 rupees be given to someone in greater need. Lal Bahadur Shastri's son, Anil Shastri, recalls an incident when his father called him after dinner and said, "I noticed that when you touch the feet of elders, your hands only reach their knees and not their feet." Anil denied the mistake and replied that his father must have seen his brothers doing so. In response, Lal Bahadur Shastri bent down, touched the feet of his 13-year-old son, and said, "This is how elders' feet should be touched." This gesture moved Anil to tears. He says, "From that day till now, I have always touched the feet of my elders the way my father taught me." When Lal Bahadur Shastri was India's Home Minister, renowned journalist Kuldip Nair served as his press secretary. Nair recalls an incident when he and Shastri ji were returning from a program in Merali. There was a railway crossing on the way, which was closed that day. Shastri ji noticed a sugarcane juice vendor nearby. He said, "Why don't we have some sugarcane juice while waiting for the gate to open?" Before we could respond, he went to the shop himself and ordered juice for me, the security guard, and the driver. Interestingly, no one recognized him, not even the sugarcane juice seller. If the vendor had any suspicion, he dismissed it, thinking, "Why would the Home Minister of India come to my shop to drink sugarcane juice?" Until he became Prime Minister, Lal Bahadur Shastri neither owned a house nor a car. Once, his children suggested, "Now that you are the Prime Minister of India, we should have our own car." At that time, a Fiat car cost 12,000 rupees. Shastri asked his secretary to check his bank account balance, which turned out to be only 7,000 rupees. When the children learned that their father did not have enough money to buy a car, they said they could do without it. However, Shastri insisted and decided to take a loan from the bank to arrange the remaining amount. He took a loan of 5,000 rupees from Punjab National Bank to purchase the car. Tragically, he passed away a year before he could repay the loan. After Lal Bahadur Shastri's death, Indira Gandhi became the Prime Minister. She offered to waive the loan Shastri had taken to buy his car, but his wife, Lalita Shastri, refused to accept the offer. Instead, she paid off the loan over 4 years from her pension. Anil Shastri shares that wherever he was posted, that car remained with him. Today, the car is preserved at the Lal Bahadur Shastri Memorial in Delhi, where people from far and wide come to see it. In 1964, when Shastri became the Prime Minister of India, his son, Anil Shastri, was studying at St. Columba's School in Delhi. Back then, there were no formal parent-teacher meetings. However, parents were required to collect their children's report cards in person. Shastri decided to go to the school himself to collect his son's report card. He got out of the car at the school gate. Although the security guard offered to let the car enter the school premises, Shastri declined. Anil recalls, "My class was on the first floor. He walked up to my classroom himself. My class teacher, Reverend Tynan, was surprised to see him and said, 'Sir, why did you come here to collect the report card?' Shastri replied, 'I am only doing what I have always done and will continue to do.' Reverend Tynan remarked, 'But now you are the Prime Minister of India. After this, Shastri smiled and said, "Brother Tynan, I haven't changed after becoming the Prime Minister, but it seems you have." In 1966, after the signing of the Tashkent Agreement between India and Pakistan in the Russian city of Tashkent, Lal Bahadur Shastri was under immense pressure. He faced severe criticism in India for returning the Haji Pir and Tithwal regions to Pakistan. Late at night, he dialed his home in Delhi. Journalist Kuldip Nair recounts, as soon as the phone rang, he said, "Give the phone to Amma." His eldest daughter came on the line and said, "Amma won't come to the phone." Shastri asked, "Why?" The response was, "Because you gave away Haji Pir and Tithwal to Pakistan, and she is very upset." This deeply saddened Shastri. Kuldip Nair continues, after that, he kept pacing the room. Then he called his secretary to inquire about the reaction in India. The secretary informed him that two statements had been made so far, one by Atal Bihari Vajpayee and the other by Krishna Menon, and both had criticized him. Kuldip narrates, at that time, a celebration party for the India-Pakistan agreement was ongoing at the Tashkent hotel. "Since I don't drink, I returned to my hotel room and tried to sleep because I was supposed to leave for Afghanistan with Shastri the next day. I dreamt that Shastri had passed away. Then there was a knock on my door. When I opened it, a Russian woman was standing there. She said, 'Your Prime Minister is dying.' I quickly put on my coat and went downstairs. When I reached Shastri's quarters, I saw the Russian Prime Minister standing in the hallway. He looked at me and gestured that Shastri was no more. When I entered the room, it was a very large room with a huge bed. On the bed lay a very small man, lifeless and curled up like a tiny point. At around 2:30 a.m., General Ayub Khan arrived. Expressing his condolences, he said, 'Here lies a man who could have united India and Pakistan.' It was India's misfortune that, after the Tashkent Agreement, it lost the leadership of this great man of small stature forever." Posthumously, Lal Bahadur Shastri was awarded India's highest civilian honor, the Bharat Ratna, in 1966. His sacrifices and determination to live by his principles will always remain alive in our hearts. If you like this video, please subscribe to our channel, like the video, and leave a comment.
Thank you.